Hi, I'm Claire.
And I'm Heather.
And we are
Masterpiece Astrology.
We're here with your forecast this week from December 3rd, Sunday, through Saturday, December 9th. We're going to get started right away with Sunday, because Sunday morning we're feeling a full moon and we're feeling Mercury just stationing retrograde.
Which means it's retrograde.
It is retrograde, sorry.
Retrograde.
Saturday night it stopped and turned backwards. So Sunday morning when you wake up, we're all under that.
It's retrograde, so...
Yeah. And it's at also, Mercury is turning retrograde at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. 29 degrees is considered a crisis point. We discussed this a little bit last week. Crisis is not necessarily something bad, though, Heather. It just means
means change,
yeah.
And we're going to be going over or revisiting many of the themes that we have gone through over the past month or so.
Yeah,
right?
Sagittarian themes related to our beliefs, our philosophy, both personally and collectively. That can be something that is both, it can be very healing and holistic. It can also be philosophy, and it can also be extreme. Right? What do you think?
Right, and so if you are a mutable sign like I am a Virgo, what it does to me is essentially make me have VNS, which is with Virgo Neurotic Syndrome. So it just makes me overly worried. Because Sagittarius is about expansion and looking at the bigger picture, in order for me to get out of this neurosis, I have to look at the bigger picture and just chill out. So that's kind of
That's a great example of that.
That is.
Because Sagittarius is like that big energy, and it's mutable. It also squares the Virgo, which is...
Right. Well, and it would do that to Pisces and to...
It does, yeah. And to Gemini as well.
Right.
It opposes that.
Right.
So the full moon also is happening on Sunday. So that's another really important thing, because the energy of this full moon is quite confusing, and there's really two ways to go. You can either go the route of anxiety and complete neurosis and be a quivering puddle of jelly on the floor as you contemplate all of your worst thoughts, or you can just decide, you know what, I'm going to plug into some really positive images and visualizations about the future of myself and my loved ones and our whole global community. Because there is a crisis point going on right now. There's a lot going on in the world. We just had tax reform in this country. A lot of things that are just concerning people that can kind of bring you down.
Right.
The way out of this full moon is to really release mental blocks that are interfering with your ability to access spiritual guidance and information, whatever that means for you. Don't you think?
Right. And also, with the Mercury going retrograde, it has to do with communication, and this full moon is also about communication. We're going to be revisiting a lot of our beliefs and a lot of the... did we just discuss
well,
this?
No, I think no, you're doing
but,
great, because what I hear you saying is I'm just thinking about some of the beliefs. Like
it's going to be more highlighted than other Mercury retrogrades.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of a great example as you're talking about. We had this huge Scorpio season we just went through, where we had all this exposure of all these sexual predatory scandals. Now what's happening is women and men are starting to discuss, what does this mean about our beliefs about this chronic problem in the workplace? What does this mean about our beliefs about women's ability to earn income in a safe and fair way?
And also, what do we believe about government? Because also Jupiter, that's in Scorpio, also has to do with this Mercury retrograde, which is in Sagittarius, and also the full moon. Yeah, it's all kind of all-encompassing.
And it's about really, again, philosophy and beliefs, the Sagittarius, and kind of that structure. You have to have a philosophical outlook on life, and that's what Sagittarius reminds us. So this full moon, instead of getting all worked up, slow down. And the trick is, I think, to really imagine and dream and not worry. If you start worrying and you're anxious on Sunday, you just gotta, I would say, what do you think are really nice kind of positive, imaginative activities people can do?
Look at Christmas lights.
Yeah,
read a book, watch a movie.
That's great.
You know, that kind of thing. Something that maybe creates like a structure for your mind if you're unable to do that, or meditation if you're into that. Yeah,
the Christmas lights I think are a really cool idea, because it's about that fantasy, and it's kind of so that would be really helpful. So that's Sunday.
So that's Sunday, and that's a big day, obviously, because we spent a lot of time talking about it. And going forward, Monday, Monday morning is going to be busy.
Yep. A lot of mental activity.
A lot of mental activity, and the afternoon is going to be calmer and easier to concentrate on your daily tasks.
I would say so.
And finish up maybe a couple projects that you've been working on. Or
yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Tuesday, I think you're right. A little restless in the morning, but definitely a lot of good energy to get things done.
Yeah, Tuesday we're going into a pleasant day until about 5 o'clock Pacific time, where then it could become a little bit emotional.
Little road bump.
It's
Pluto opposite the moon. What's happened all day on Tuesday is we've had a nice grand trine in water. We've had the moon and Neptune and Jupiter and water signs.
Yeah.
That energy just flows. It feels emotionally comfortable. We're getting in touch with our feelings.
Bake some cookies.
But then, if about 5 o'clock, the moon that's in Cancer, the moon, one of those lights that I just mentioned, is opposite Pluto. Well, you know, moon is your feelings, and Pluto is the phoenix from the ashes and transformation and control and power. So I think there's a little roadblock at the end of the day.
But you can come home and you can bake cookies or make a nice soup or something soul food, something that feeds your emotions but isn't going to be detrimental.
It's just a road bump. It's early because Tuesday is a nice day.
It's just a teeny little bump.
But can I talk about how Tuesday night we start building up into Wednesday? Because I tell you, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, I think, Heather, that's pretty intense.
That's a big day.
It is a big day.
It's a big day.
Because what's happening is Tuesday. It's hump day. What's happening in the sky overnight Tuesday is Mars is in Libra. It's almost out of Libra, okay? And so Mars is forming a very, very easy angle to both Saturn and Mercury, which occupy the same place in Sagittarius. What that means is...
Stand by your truth.
Yes, stand by your truth for sure Wednesday morning, because Saturn and Mercury together are very strong mental discipline, mental power. Again, Mercury, how we communicate and think about our philosophical beliefs, dogma, religion, spirituality, law. That's going to be in the same place as Saturn, which forms structure in that same sign with those same values.
Right. And then also, it could cause some insecurity and some confusion. It could be an emotionally up and down day.
Well, and you are right. However, I just want to point out that insecurity is not because of Mars forming an easy aspect to Saturn and Mercury. It's because at the same time that little conversation is going on in the sky. We got Moon in Cancer squaring Mars in Libra, and that can feel a little insecure.
And that means that you need to buy Ben & Jerry's chocolate mocha. What is it? Chocolate fudge brownie.
That may be one possible way out. There are many alternatives. I would also say though, you started off saying Wednesday morning is a great time to stand by your truth, and that means if you feel a little insecure, plow through, because the insecurity is going to last a much shorter period of time and the energy available to stand by your truth. Wouldn't you say?
And then eat your chocolate fudge brownie ice cream.
And I think also you could expect to see and hear a lot more kind of grandstanding on these philosophically moral standpoints you've been hearing in the news, especially some kind of patriarchal kind of views of superiority and power. I think we might we might see quite a bit of that on Wednesday. Something of that in the news.
And I will be eating ice cream.
Okay, and that's and then Thursday.
Thursday is a great day. Yeah. Rainbows and unicorns.
And by the way, that
rainbows and Fred.
And that greatness starts to feel actually pretty good Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday mornings when things are kind of definitely rough. But going into Wednesday afternoon, things start to feel a bit better. And Thursday, rainbows and unicorns.
We like rainbows and unicorns.
I think it's a little emotional in the morning because we have Venus and, sorry, not Venus. We have Moon in Leo squaring Jupiter in Scorpio that morning. That can be a little bit of just some kind of dramatic moodiness. I don't know, a little drama, a little emotional drama, but
it's Leo.
Hardly anything.
Leo. Yeah, we love Leo. Or Leo Moon when it happens.
Of course we do, and I think actually
it creates drama and fun.
But don't you think a little drama and fun on Thursday is going to feel good?
I think it's going to feel good, especially after, kind of the beginning of the week has a lot going on, so it'll be nice to have a little bit of playfulness.
I think so. And then on Friday we have a really inspiring grand trine in fire. Got a lot of planets and fire signs that day, and that's also going to contribute to things feeling good.
Day.
I think so. I mean, it's going to be a rough week kind of in some of these areas, so Friday will feel good.
Yeah, Friday will feel good, and it is TGIF for some folks.
And enjoy it while you can, because what happens overnight?
Mars in Scorpio. Now, I think this is going to be great.
I actually do too.
And if we could play a soundtrack right now, I would play Marvin Gaye aka sexual healing. And if I could sing, I would sing it to you,
So would I,
I
but
will
we can't.
not.
But we are soul sisters. We do love that song. And
It's a great
It's
song.
a great song, and that's the theme song for Mars and Scorpio.
Very sexy.
Totally sexy.
Orgasmic even.
Erotic. Yeah. There's going to be just, I tell you, starting on Saturday, we're going to start hearing and feeling and seeing a lot more sexy talk.
Sex.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of ambition and power. Mars is how we get what we want.
Some ruthlessness.
Yeah, and Scorpio is ruthless. So people, so I think we can, and that's going to be an energetic trend, I think, that we're just going to want to keep in mind, because December, on, I think, what is it? On the 19th, Saturn goes into Capricorn, and on the 22nd, Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius. That's we're gonna have a big shift in energy then. So right now is a time to revisit and kind of edit and think about our own personal philosophical structures that we live by.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde is also a great time to clean out stuff and get rid of stuff. Being that it's the holidays, you want to make room for the new. But also, I also want to reiterate what we said in previous video. Don't overspend and don't impulse buy. I know it's really hard this month to do that, but with this Saturn and Capricorn coming up, I'm not sure exactly what the repercussions of that, but you will be rewarded if you stay structured and stick to your budget. And if you go off of that too far, there will be the consequences. So it's changing energy from fire and this exuberance, let's go do it, and who cares about the consequences, to like authority, creditors, and
paying the
bills, and so just kind of watch it. Again, I just wanted to say that. Yeah,
and my final piece for you this week is just to think about the collective. Mars opposed Uranus overnight, just the other night. That energy is in effect till Mars goes into Scorpio on Saturday. Mars opposite Uranus brought to us early Friday big shocking news nationally, in which Robert Mueller, the special counsel, handed down his first indictment in the Russia investigation, in which National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pled guilty to lying to the FBI. The reason I bring that up is because that opposition with Mars opposite Uranus, that opposition brings in the United States natal, well not natal, but the Pluto that was in place on July 4th, 1776. That was at 27 degrees of Capricorn. So
the politics have something to do with our country right now, astrologically.
It's fascinating.
It is karmic and whatever. But also, I was going to say something that was super important.
What could that possibly be? Does that have something to do with Fred, Heather?
I think maybe we should just pop Fred.
I think just pop Fred.
And I think you should come see us again next week. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the little bell to get notifications of our new videos.
Yeah, please do, and send us some feedback, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.
And Merry Vlogmas.
Yes. Take care. Bye.
Bye.